Hello everyone and welcome back to more Seduce Me to the Demon War. We are back again in the midst of James's route where we just started it in the last episode. So a quick recap. So for those of you who already know, like I'm not gonna, talk about the beginning portions of the route because I already explained it before actually starting it in the last episode. So we jumped right on ahead and picked up after where the demo left off, and then all the in-laws and all the boys and our bae dropped into the abyssal plains through the portal, much like how Eric had. And of course, since we weren't haunted or, under another secondary spell of being disgusted by the love of our life, we were able to reunite with James happily. But then there's some growing tensions and some sort of power play going on in between James and Diana because, both of them are tense whenever they talk to each other. So there's a little bit of a misunderstanding at the beginning where James had thought it was Diana's fault that we were stuck in the abyssal plane and that we were the one who was pulled into it by her, but no, she was like, no, it's your father's fault. It's your dickhead of a father. So we quickly, cleared the air. Saero came in to defend Diana, of course, and eventually the truth came out, and he found out that his father was the one who pulled us in, and as well as everyone else into the abyssal plains. So we're in the abyssal plains. We're talking about the war going on and blah 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 blah. It's basically almost the same as when Eric had showed up. So afterwards, when all is said and done, and we all decided that we were going to participate in the war, we all headed back to our designated rooms. So everyone else got rooms on the other side of the castle. We went back to the ambassador room where we first, the room that we had stayed in the beginning, 2-3 days where we first dropped in. So went back into the room. What did we talk about with James? It's just stuff about the castle, I guess. It's just how Diana's a direct descendant from Lilith, the first succubus. So yeah, that's that. That's great history knowledge there. So we went to sleep that night, and then we find out that we are being hunted down by angels in our dreams. So yeah, we were transported into this next dimension or whatever the hell, where angels were about to take our memories away, but then Diana and Saero intervened, was able to fend them off, and then when we wake up again in the middle of the night, Diana and Saero kind of stormed our bedroom and demanded us why we were hunted by the angels and why they wanted our memories so badly. So we have no idea, of course, because this is the first time we've ever heard of such thing, other than the first encounter before getting sucked into the abyssal plains. So yeah. So it turns out instead of, little unborn sisters and siblings, we get a pack of angels that are hunting after us. So that's nice. That's great. So we go back to sleep that night because Saero and Dana managed to fend off the angels, and then went to sleep. Woke up the next morning. All the other brothers and their wives came in. We were having breakfast, and then Saero shows up and was like, he kind of went on a tangent against them because talking about the war and why it started, how it started. He's blaming the brothers because they ran away. The demon lord who was mad before was now even more insane, and he's like Satan himself. Blah 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 blah. Saero got really heated. Everyone got really heated. Saero ended up getting punched by Sam because he blamed the brothers for running away, and he was throwing in all these stories where Diana had to witness the murder of her family in gruesome ways and shit and all that stuff. And then Diana comes in, had heard the entire thing and was like, "You need to shut up about the past, Saero." And they're like, "Okay." So afterwards, she talked about how we needed a trainer, of course, and if we were planning to participate in the war. So instead of choosing Shadow like we had in the last route with Eric, we had chosen Faye, who was a bit of a wild card. So later on in that day, we met up with Faye in the hall, the grand hall, and we were doing kind of random I don't know, training practices where Faye was just making things up on the spot. But eventually they got around to teaching us a nifty spell, a nifty trap spell, which was, forming a little green orb and then throwing it, and then the orb, bursts into all these like crazy looking vines that would trap people. So yeah, that's what we practiced for the rest of the day. And then afterwards we came back in our room, we're exhausted. We met up with James again, who had come back from training with his brothers as well. And then before going to sleep, James had, pulled us aside for a bit and was like, I'm gonna try something that will maybe help you. And so he put on us a mind barrier spell, just so that in hopes of preventing, the angels from coming back again. So yeah, that's where we left off. And so now we go to sleep, and this is where we pick things up afterwards, where we put James's spell to the test. So yeah, as we both laid back in bed to sleep that night, James's spell was tested, and that was the cliffhanger that we last left off. So let's see if it's actually gonna work. Floating in the darkness, a dream was never the same every time. Sometimes I'd be floating in water, other times I would be flying through the air. The experience over my nerves changed every time, and I could never prepare myself for what dream or nightmare would come, obviously. Unless you can actively lucid dream, then that's great. That night, however, I found myself once again in a jail cell. We are back again in the jail cell. Not like we actually missed that place. Okay, we back again. God damn it. Huh? James, is this your idea of forming a protective mind barrier spell? Because I'm not very amused. I didn't understand. Why was I here again? Why was I once again trapped in a cell? Why am I in jail? What have I done? I looked down at my body to see my regular clothes still on. There was no shackle attached to my ankle, and I was free as I could be. That was different. Still, I had to be on guard. Yeah, okay, so at least that's alright, but I still don't like the prospect of being locked in a jail cell. It brings back kind of like, very bad memories. I quickly stood and walked up to the cell door, running my hands over the metal. At the mere touch of my hands, the door slowly swung open, releasing me and allowing me to leave the dark cage. Another difference. Okay, alright, I see you. Unlocked jail cell, alright, okay. This is alright, okay, I take back my words. I'm slowly kind of, taking back my words, but I'm still not fully liking this. I stepped forward, looking up and down the hall I was in. There were no screams, no cries. It was as silent as the grave. That worried me and made me feel uneasy. Despite the relief, I felt that the dream was not the same as the nightmare I had before. Right? Goodness gracious. Alright, so it's a little too quiet, which I don't like. At least that's what I had hoped. Oh, James. What's wrong? Bae, what's wrong? Why are you fighting your inner demons that I'm not aware of? A sudden cry of pain echoed down the hall, causing me to look over in the direction it erupted from. My heart stopped for a moment, recognizing the voice. Oh shit, James. James, what is this? Why are you doing this? James? Oh my god, James. My body rushed on its own towards his voice, now desperate to find him. Why was he in pain? Who was hurting him? Why is this all happening? At last, I arrived at the door, barely opened a crack. I peeked in and gasped at what I saw. Is he being tortured by the demon lord or some shit? What's happening? Oh my god. I guess he is. Chained to the far wall was James, his body twitching in pain as he desperately attempted to free himself. I stared in shock as my eyes took in a cross burnt into his chest that seemed to sizzle over his flesh. Oh, why are you getting smited? What? Oh my god, he is getting smited up in here by the Lord. Oh Jesus, well, by the Lord's, underlings. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Never.
Okay, something about accepting his fate. That's the only words that I kind of recognize. At James's reply to the voice, the mark on his chest began to grow a hot red and yellow color, burning further into his skin. I unconsciously ran my hand over my chest in sympathy, wincing at the sight. Girl, Deuce, actually no. It's a little dangerous because I don't want to just jump in on this because the fucking angel is there. And quite frankly, he sounds fucking terrifying. So, Bae, hang in there. I'm gonna figure something out. Stay hidden versus... Okay, you know what? Fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. Yeah! I needed to stop whatever this was, dream or not, James was in pain. Don't worry, Bay, I got this. I threw the door open and rushed in, revealing everything in the room. However, the only person in it was James himself, who was now staring at me wide-eyed in fear. James! God damn it.
Stay back! Ah!
But shit, I don't see nobody. Is the angel invisible? Can I not see them? Uh-oh. The mark began to burn brighter on his skin, ushering me to rush forward and pull on his bonds to set him free. The steel bonds held fast against the wall, not moving an inch. Oh my god, this is such a mess.
I would rather burn than let you touch her!
Oh, yeah, a girl? Oh, I stared at James wide-eyed. Was he doing this to protect me? Was this happening because of the protection spell he cast on me? Oh, maybe, yeah. Oh my gosh. Maybe... can they see us? I don't know. I didn't get a chance to think on it long, however, a bright flash of light erupted from James's body, and I shut my eyes, blinded by the sight. Oh my god. James! Where the fuck did you go? My eyes refused to open until I felt myself awaken. Ugh! I shut up in bed, gasping and clutching my chest. My heart pounded inside of my ribs at a frightening pace as I recalled images from the dream. Despite it not ending with me being attacked, it ended with James getting hurt. I didn't exactly bargain for this, James. Why didn't you tell me this would happen? As I thought of James, I quickly looked over to see him still fast asleep. Luckily, I didn't scream to wake him up this time, so I felt relieved that he wasn't ripped from his own rest. My heartbeat began to slow as I silently took a deep breath and let it out. It was a dream. Are you sure? Maybe he's like quietly suffering. I don't know. Quietly suffering in his dreams. I don't know. I ran my palms over my eyes and rubbed them gently, calming down at last. I had to get through this. I had to keep my sanity about me. Yet something in my gut wouldn't let me let this dream go. Something inside of me ushered me into thinking about it as if I was missing something. Was I overlooking something important? How could that have been? But this is all these events that are happening right now are very confusing. Like, we still don't know exactly like a good solid answer as to why the angels won our memories. Or yeah, but I only assume again that it's because we know too much, and also we dropped our dead ass into the fucking abyssal plane, but not like on our own will, you know. It's just like, this was not our fault. I shook my head and slowly laid back down, curling up against James and closing my eyes again. I had to rest. I had to let it go for now. I would figure this out later. Alright, darkness greeted me again and I was safe until the morning. Okay. Alright, I woke up in James's arms once more, slowly blinking the sleep from my eyes as my vision focused on his chest. As I stared, I vaguely pictured the cross burn over his skin, but was relieved to find no such thing there in reality. But what if it's affecting him in some other ways, you know? Maybe it's like a whole spirit thing, not necessarily physical, you know? It had just been a dream. Are you sure? I don't trust this. I looked up to see James smiling down at me softly before he kissed my forehead.
Good morning. Did you have a good rest?
I remembered the nightmare and suddenly became unsure of whether or not the truth was something he wanted to hear. I did rest, but I did wake up from that nightmare during the night. Was it worth telling him? I slept well. I had a nightmare again. I had a nightmare again. I want to be truthful to him because like I said, the first time where we made the choice when we came into the abyssal plains, it was when we were heading back to our room after, you know, meeting up with Diana after the boys dropped in for the first time with their wives. And, you know, he asked us if we were doing okay, and we said yes. And I meant it in full confidence for my part, but I guess in Hannah's mind, it was like she was still very unsure of herself. So in the end, she ended up lying to James. So I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want any, you know, no secrets between us, because that's what tears us apart. So I don't want that. I had a nightmare again. I couldn't lie. I shook my head and I couldn't lie, I shook my head and the smile on James' face disappeared. As much as it would make him unhappy, it was better to let him know the results of his spell, yeah. I wasn't attacked by angels or anything, but you were, yeah.
I was?
Yeah, and I did like that, bae. I ran my hand over his chest, imagining the burn from the dream emblazoned on his skin. You were bolted to a wall and had a cross cut into your chest. It was burning and you were arguing with a voice in the air.
A cross. So it was an angel's work.
Yeah, I don't know if it was actually happening. I don't know, like, whether it's dream or reality, but, like, I don't like them fucking with us. Why, though? James closed his eyes in thought, trying to figure it out why himself, but as he opened his eyes to look at me, his smile did not return.
The spell I cast to protect you placed an image of me in your mind, like a guardian. If they came, my spell would have forced them to attack me instead. Luckily, it worked.
Oh, well, why didn't you tell me that beforehand? I was worried, okay? I thought you were dying or some shit. My god. James bent his hand over my cheek.
However, you still went through a nightmare, and for that I am sorry.
Aw, it's okay. Well, yeah, you could have told me that was how the spell worked. Jesus. No, don't be. You protected me. So the dream was part of his spell. I felt relieved that it worked. The side effect was an image of James being hurt. At least it wasn't actually him. Yeah, that's the good one. I ran my hand over James's cheek, smiling softly. Thank you. Yeah. At last, James's smile reappeared before he softly took my hand and kissed my palm.
All for you, love.
Oh. I don't deserve you. A knock on the door, however, interrupted our moment together.
Who is it?
Yeah, who is it?
Diana, I have food for you both.
Okay, Diana homegirl. Hey girl. I looked to the door as James called out for her to enter. The door opened to reveal Diana with 2 plates of food, the same meal we had the day prior. She walked over and handed the plates to us before stepping back.
I assume that you both had a good rest.
Well, sort of. It's half and half.
Yes, actually. We've worked out the angel problem for now.
Yeah, for now. I still don't really like it, but at least it's working. Diana raised her eyebrow, crossing her arms, but nodded in reply. Looking at Diana, however, I could see small dark circles beneath her eyes. Did she not rest last night? Diana, what's wrong? Leave her alone, question it. Diana! Oh. Diana, what's wrong? Talk to me! Diana, are you okay? You look worn out. Yeah. Diana stared at me for a moment before shaking her head.
I didn't get much rest. I spent most of the night dealing with some uninvited guests.
Were the angels attacking you too? What's happening? What's going on?
Should we be worried?
Yeah.
No, I have everything under control.
Okay, as long as you say so. A part of me didn't believe her, but I nodded regardless. If she didn't wish to talk about it, then it was better not to ask about it any further. Yeah. Diana turned on her heel and began to walk out of the room, but she stopped at the archway and looked back to me.
If any angels come your way again, tell me.
No worries, girl, but you worry about your own problem. We seem to figure this out, I guess. Kinda. With that foreboding warning, Diana left, leaving James and I unable to reply. What could we say to that? James had already placed a spell on me to protect me, and he seemed to be just fine. We would be fine. Sure. Yeah, James and I ate our food before separating to train. Okay, where are you at, Faye? I began to feel a bit elated at the idea of walking to train with Faye. The stress of the morning needed to be burnt away with a workout, and I knew that Faye would teach me something to take my mind off of it. Right, because the last time they taught us the spell, which was the thorn bush thing, it was apparently their second best spell. So maybe we can get their best spell, learn their best spell this time. It became like a game of relief away from the reality of the world. Hey Faye! I made my way to the grand hall and stopped at the doorway, looking and taking in the sight of Faye sleeping on the ground spread eagle style. What are you doing here? Did you spend the night here? Faye, I thought you had your own room. Okay. Oh my, okay. It took every ounce of control I had not to laugh hysterically at the sounds Faye was releasing as they slept. To think such sounds came out of a cute-looking demon like Faye seemed rather bizarre and cartoon-like. Well, they are very cartoon-like, so, I think it's fitting. Nevertheless, I knew I had to get started on training. The boys were most likely in the midst of their own training as I stood there, so I couldn't exactly spend time watching Faye snore. Faye, wake up. I stepped quietly into the room, drawing closer to Faye's body as I tried to think of how to wake them up. Wait patiently, scare them. Well, I don't know. They seem like a pretty deep sleeper, and if I just leave them, I feel like they would just sleep. They would sleep through a hurricane if they can. Wait. It was only going to be a little scare, a little fun, never hurt anyone, right? Right. I tiptoed further into the room, making sure not to wake up Faye as I approached them and circled around them. As I finally stood behind their head, I crouched down and cupped my hands together. I am the melon lord. Lord of the melons. Faye jolted up like they had been zapped by a bolt of lightning and shot themselves into the air like a rocket before slamming their head into the ceiling. God damn.
Ow! 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 Ow!
You okay? I'm sorry, I didn't mean for that to happen, but at least you didn't go flying out the window. Oh my god, Faye! The temporary hilarity I felt as I scared Faye quickly vanished as the sound of their head colliding with the ceiling echoed through the room, and the fairy in question quickly descended holding their head. Faye, I am so sorry.
It's okay. Ow. I needed to wake up anyways.
Yeah, and I don't think waiting patiently would cut it. Faye finally floated to be level with my height, shaking their head and rubbing over where their head collided with the ceiling. I bit my lip and rubbed the back of my neck, feeling now very embarrassed and ashamed of what I chose to do. I don't care. Faye wiggled their arms and let out a tired sigh before blowing raspberries with their mouth and slamming their hands against their cheeks.
I am awake!
Of course, yay. I had to cover my mouth to stop the burst of laughter that wanted to erupt from my gut. At the exclamation, Faye became full of energy like it was the flip of a switch. I became mildly jealous of such a feat. Right? I take forever to actually wake up and become aware. Nevertheless, I was eager and ready for my next training session. Hopefully, they don't blow me off like Shadow does. Like, oh, I'm not gonna train you anymore just because, you know, you're being fucking nosy. I placed my arms at my sides and straightened up my back, showing the posture of determination and attention. What will we be doing today? Yes. Faye looked over at me, looking for some sort of answer in my eyes. Despite showing the sudden energy spark like a light bulb earlier, they remained silent for a moment. Were they not sure? I hoped that today wouldn't be going over the thorn bush again. Yeah. As much as it was a cool trick, casting a thorn bush into existence from dawn to dusk was not as fun as many would imagine it to be, even with hilarious breaks in between. Yes, finally a glimmer twinkled in Faye's eyes, making them grin from ear to ear at me.
I know what we're gonna do!
Okay, what is it? What? With a burst of energy, Faye shot themselves into the air and spun around before flipping upside down in the air towards me. Are you gonna teach me how to grow wings? Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
I'm gonna teach you how to fly!
Hallelujah! Yes! That's what I'm talking about. Yes! Yes, girl. Yes. What? Fly? Like Peter Pan style? Do I have to think really happy thoughts? My mind completely blanked on itself. Fly? I was really going to be taught how to fly? I didn't have wings. How the heck was I going to do that? Use pixie dust! Faye nodded ecstatically before swooping down and flying around me.
It's so easy. You just need to imagine yourself floating in the air and boom, you'll be flying in no time.
Really? Is that it? Is it just a matter of just using energy? My energy? Really? I grimaced watching Faye fly around me. I suddenly felt like I was in Peter Pan and I had to think happy thoughts and go to the second star to the right to Neverland. I know, right? My thoughts exactly. Well, Faye was a fairy, so no pixie dust, I guess? I'm suddenly imagining you as Tinkerbell, Faye.
Tinker who?
Oh, it's just a, fictional pixie fairy thing. Right, demon world, not human world. Never mind. Yeah, you wouldn't get it. Faye stopped circling me and stared for a moment before shrugging and floating away from me, crossing their arms proudly and physically imitating Sergeant.
Now get those feet off the ground!
Chill, girl. You only just told me what we're going to do, okay? I can't just be like you, where I just think about it and poof, I fly. I looked down at the ground at my boot-covered feet. Making a thorn bush was one thing, but making myself fly was another. I tried to imagine it, but there was no energy in my body that would respond to such a request. Maybe it's all about airbending. I don't know. Control the air around you and manipulate it so that it supports your body weight. I don't fucking know. Physics. How the heck was I going to fly? Think happy thoughts, try and sprout wings. It'd be so totally bomb if I sprouted wings. Oh my god, like, totes. Oh my god, I don't even know. You have wings, Faye. Like, isn't that part of the criteria of being able to fly? I mean, sure, it's all about, you just told me that you just need to think about it, but like, seriously. Try and sprout wings. While I wasn't in a children's book, I was certain that logic would help me out. I had formed an orb and thorn bush out of thin air. Wings should have been the same deal, right? Right? I hope. And maybe the same principle works, yeah. I closed my eyes and relaxed my body, trying to focus on the sides of my spine. I had to think of anatomy. Where would my wings go? shoulder blades. I don't even know. I concentrated on 2 points on my upper back, guiding my energy to those spots. I began to imagine what kind of wings I would spawn, angelic, bat-like. The possibilities seemed endless. Right. A wave of excitement ran through me. This was going to be so cool, right? If I pulled this shit off, oh my god. However, after almost a full minute of concentration, nothing seemed to occur. What? Okay. I don't know. I'm thinking about flying. Is it happy thoughts? I opened my eyes and looked down at myself. My feet were still on the ground and nothing changed with me. A flash of anger sparked within me. How difficult was it to lift off the ground? Well, kind of hard, you know. It's like, it's, I don't know. How the heck can I fly? As soon as the word burst from my mouth, I shot my hands down in anger, only to be vaulted into the air by some sort of energy force beneath my feet. My body quickly shot up, defying gravity and sending me towards the ceiling. Wow, okay. So I guess it's like the energy just gotta come from the feet, the soles of my feet. Gah!
Whoa!
Oh my god. So it's kind of like I'm Iron Man or something with a torch. I don't even know. Faye quickly zipped over towards me and grabbed me, intercepting my quick ascent to the ceiling while holding me closer to them. It was like being held by a very strong child, as their small frame barely lined up from my shoulder to my knee. Wow. It hit me for a split moment. Faye was ridiculously small. Wow, okay, damn, yeah, you small. You small child. Nevertheless, I gripped onto Faye, thankful that I wasn't going to crash into the wood above us, and looked around in awe. I was really in the air, flying or at least being held up by some force. I could feel energy circle around and through my body, most likely keeping me afloat. Yeah, okay, so I guess it's just, yeah. I could fly! Oh my god. I looked at Faye with growing excitement of the situation. This was the best feeling ever. Faye grinned before slowly letting me go, proving that they weren't holding me up and that I wasn't imagining anything. Holy crap, I am in the air. Pure elation rushed through me as I merely measured the distance between my feet and the floor. I was in the air and slowly bobbing up and down like Faye, floating freely against gravity. Isn't this nifty? I did it! Oh my god, I did it!
You did it! You're flying!
Right? Oh my god, I can fucking fly! Yes! I willed my body forward, feeling the air around me slowly guide me. In obedience to energy, my body moved me through the space. It was incredibly odd feeling the air slightly brush against my entire body, but I was indeed moving forward. A large grin graced my face as I became more determined with my mental commands. I flew towards Faye and circled them before I flew towards Faye and circled them before suddenly flying around the space. I felt as free as a bird, letting my mind naturally drive me in each direction I wanted to go in.
Here we go! You're getting it!
Right? Oh my god, I'm like a natural airplane. Woohoo! Out of pure adrenaline, I arched back and did a flip in the air before rocketing back forward and gliding over to turn away from the wall I was quickly approaching. The rush of this new power became addicting, and I wanted to do more with it. Right? Watch this sick backflip and this like cartwheel in the air. I couldn't deny the effects using this power was letting me. I couldn't deny the effects using this power was putting me in. I could feel my energy quickly drain away the longer I remained in the air. A slight tingling sensation ran over my legs and hands, reminding me that I had a limited amount of energy. Right. There's too much mana I have used. I mentally took note of it and floated over to Faye, putting a lid on my over-enthusiastic glee from the new power and preparing myself for further instruction. Right. So, alright, I can fly now. What's next? Yeah. Faye laughed before planting their hands on their hips.
You really like flying, huh?
I do! Come on! I was like human. I'm a normal human being, and this is technically impossible, but now that I'm here, I can fly. I couldn't help but nod. This was the most exciting thing I had done in the demon world thus far. It was like I was a superhero or something. I barely had to think about staying up to remain in the air, and it was increasingly making me giddy. Faye grinned before circling around me and gesturing me to follow them.
Then let's have a little fun! Come on!
Are we gonna race? Oh my god. Within the blink of an eye, Faye zipped out of the room and into the hall. Yeah. Well, hey, wait for me! Not wanting to lose them, I willed myself forward, starting the chase. I quickly arched around the corner, locking Faye into my sights before building up speed to cut at my increasing distance. Faye was ridiculously fast, and I barely managed to dodge the obstacles in our way, which included other demons and decor. Oops! Sorry! Excuse me! Beep beep! Meep meep!
Sorry, not sorry!
Beep beep. Despite ducking and dodging each speed bump in the halls, I couldn't help but laugh at the thrill of the experience. Faye looked back at me and laughed as well, but suddenly dropped the expression. Why? Oh shit. With almost a screeching halt, they turned their body back upright and stopped going forward, holding out their hands and stopping me as well. To my surprise, Faye managed to stop me without budging from their place, like they were a perfect brick wall. Damn! You strong. Why did Faye stop? I turned upright as well, suddenly confused. Faye, however, floated forward ever so slightly and looked into a nearby room, peeking over the corner of the barely open doorway. What are we spying on? What are we doing? Out of my own curiosity, I did as well, feeling my energy die out and lower me to stand on the floor at last. All right. Are you? What's happening? The room we were peeking into happened to be the war room, and we stared at the back of Diana's head as it looked down at the table in front of her, her hands gripping the edges like angry vices ready to break it. How did Faye know Diana was in here? And what the heck was Diana upset about? Yeah.
How could a squad of scouts be found and slaughtered by a band of wild harpies?
I don't know. Diana seemed to answer the question, but my mind began to try and imagine what she had said. Harpies existed, a squad of scouts were out and were killed. What? I looked up at Faye, seeing them press their lips together in worry as they stared at the succubus. As I turned to look back at Diana, however, I silently gasped and covered my mouth at what I had laid my eyes upon. Oh, are we gonna see her little, like, double self kind of thing? Their slightly demonic self? Not like she was a demon in any ways, but like, you know, the doppelganger, yeah. Around Diana's body was a black and purple fiery aura, flickering frighteningly in the air around her as she dug her nails into the wood of the table.
I'll have to search for it myself then. But where to start?
Oh, I don't know. Before I could watch further, suddenly afraid of Diana, Faye grabbed my shirt and quickly pulled me away from the door, making sure to cover the hand I had placed over my mouth with their own for safety.
Let's go. We should get back to training.
Yeah, no shit. Okay. Alright. Without even giving me an explanation or chance to break free, Faye guided me back to the training hall. My mind became full of questions, but as we returned to the training hall, Faye became almost like a military sergeant. I had to practice flying and forming my thorn bush to build my stamina until the end of the day. By then, I was too exhausted to ask questions and just returned to my room. I would ask tomorrow. The day at last ended and I wound up slowly walking towards my room. I was tired and ready to hit the pillow, but as I entered, I stared at who was there waiting for me. James? Saero? What the fuck, Saero? Hey, buddy, what's good? Saero stood in the middle of the room, staring hard at me as if I had done something wrong. Did I do something wrong?
Do you know what a stone destiny is?
No, I don't, but we did get a mention of that at the start of James's route. But I still don't know what it is. A stone destiny? I had never heard of such a thing. Did it have something to do with the angels? I tilted my head, making Saero sigh and lower his head.
A stone destiny binds a person's entire life towards a specific direction. It could be for good, it could be for evil. However, when a stone destiny is set, almost nothing can stop it from taking its course.
Oh. Alright. Then hopefully the person that set that stone destiny in the beginning is, setting it for good. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Why are you bringing this up? Saero looked up at me and closed his eyes, resolved in explaining to me whatever was on his mind. What he told me, however, shocked me.
I believe that your fiancé is locked in a stone destiny.
Oh, could have been his mother. Oh, that would make sense. Okay, gee, what? That made no sense. James was locked in a stone destiny? What did that have to do with anything? Where did this come from? Yeah, how did you ever find this out? As Saero watched my expression, he continued to speak.
There is only one way to forge a stone destiny, by making a deal with angels. If someone is willing to give angels something worthy, the angels can set and seal someone's life as if in stone. If anything threatens to destroy that destiny, the angels step in.
Oh shit, am I in the way? Is that it? Oh god damn it. Oh no. Oh no, maybe that was James's mother who set the stone destiny in the beginning, and oh shit. I was gonna say, like, maybe in theory that, like, what the stone destiny entails with him is that she wants James to overtake the demon lord's throne and become the next demon lord himself. I don't know, maybe, but again, like that can branch off into being, a good ending and a bad ending. I can see how that would work. That was it. That was why the angels were after me. If James was tied to a stone destiny, then the only reason they were attacking me was because I was in the way of his fate. How could that be, though? What was his destiny? I guess it's to become the next demon lord. To become the next demon lord? Yeah, exactly. Yes, my thoughts exactly. Something in my mind clicked at the thought. Of course, that had to be it. I had taken James away from his destiny and was about to marry him. Of course they would be after me. God fucking damn it. I sat on my bed, shocked and astonished at the news. I felt somewhat relieved that James and I had found a way to stop them, but I still felt the weight of the new information sinking into my thoughts. Saero stepped towards the door and closed it, looking to me.
Breaking a stone destiny is nearly impossible. Nearly.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, you said nearly. That doesn't make it impossible, so I can still have the chance of destroying it, I looked up at him, anxiousness growing as he repeated the words. There was a way to fix this. There was a way to fix this and set James free? I guess, but how? Then how can we set him free from it?
By giving him enough energy to do so himself.
Really? Oh, why is... Oh, fine. Whatever. I'm cool with that. I stared. It made sense, but giving him energy meant probably sleeping with him. Probably, most likely. I didn't have much of a problem with it, but sex wasn't something I wanted to do just because it had to be done. Yeah, that's true. We said the same thing in Eric's route with the whole how Dana was like, you can get rid of any, you can make sure that the spirit isn't able to communicate with you in your sleep as long as you're totally exhausted and wasted of your energy you're at. It was better to make love when the people involved were in the mood to do so rather than because they had to. Yeah. Saero turned back to the door.
He is a powerful incubus. But he isn't powerful enough to break through his destiny unless you help him.
Well, I mean, I know I know how you feel, Hana, about the whole, I'd rather be in the mood for sex rather than just having to do it because, but, this is beneficial in, a lot in the long term, because, yeah. Before he left, however, I stopped him. Something seemed off with Saero being the one to tell me, yeah. Saero, why are you telling me instead of Diana telling me? Yeah.
She isn't aware of it. Not many demons know of it or even believe it to be an actual occurrence.
Really? Then how the hell are you so confident about it? Yeah, then how do you know about it? Saero seemed to stand still, letting silence linger in the air. The room began to feel off as Saero stood in his place. I had felt this feeling before, but I couldn't pin down where. Finally, Saero slowly turned his head to me, causing me to suddenly gasp at what was revealed. In his gold eyes were crosses, glowing a dark black where his pupils were. The feeling of feathers once again danced around me, causing me to quiver slightly. Are you I think he's half angel. I swear to God, he's half an angel. Didn't I make this assumption already? Because he uses holy magic, and it's well, wouldn't you be half angel or some shit? Oh my God! Holy shit!
Does that answer your question?
Goddamn, son! Alright. Jeez. I nodded slowly but frightfully. Saero was an angel? How? He looked like a demon. No one mentioned him being anything close to an angel other than him using holy magic. Did Diana not know either? How was this hidden? Oh, was he full out angel? Seriously? What the fuck? What the fuck, Saero? Saero closed his eyes and relaxed a bit as he pressed his lips into a fine line.
I love my lady. I would follow her to the ends of the 5 worlds if she demanded it of me. To see the man she was bound to wed here, locked by a destiny that would have taken my love away long ago. It's maddening.
Yeah, so you and me both. We gotta break this shit, alright? You on my side, right?
The longer he stays here, the more dangerous his destiny becomes. I've seen visions of what would come to pass if his destiny is fulfilled, and I will do everything to make sure that doesn't happen.
Alright, so we're on the same team. So, hey, cool. Then that means that then what he's talking about must mean how, I guess, James has that possibility of becoming a mad king like his father, in our nightmare that we had in the beginning. I could see the jealousy in Saero's eyes once again. Something burned heavily in Saero's gaze and didn't dare fade away as he gripped his spear in a white-knuckled grip.
My lady is a queen deserving of the world. Not a harem girl for him to ravage in a cage.
Hey girl, same with me, alright? If you saw Diana with that fate, then I'm on the same boat as her, okay? So it's we Gucci. Memories of the nightmare I had long ago flickered in my head. Diana had been in a cage beside me. Did Saero see the same thing? I'm pretty sure he did. I didn't get the chance to ask. I didn't get the chance to ask Saero. I didn't get the chance to ask. Saero relaxed a bit and glared at me. I could feel a shiver wake up my spine as his words shook my core.
Do not speak of what I am to anyone, or I will set your destiny to die at your husband's hand.
Oh, come on. I thought we were on the same team, girl. Of course I'm not gonna tell them anything like that. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna tell anyone. What makes you think I would tell? This is okay. I know being truthful and everything to Bae is important, but like this is a big deal. Okay, so like let's just not freak him out with this kind of information. And we can solve this. We can do it. All right, we can do this on like the down low. Without letting me reply, Saero turned and left the room, leaving me alone to absorb what had happened. I felt the air in the room slowly drift back to normal, but I felt nowhere close to it. How was this happening? Why was this happening? Everything began to clash in my head, causing it to pound heavily in confusion and stress. Ah, so much stress. My thoughts were interrupted as the door opened again, revealing James. Ah, hey.
Love? Are you alright?
Just really tired. I had a hard day of training. James. Get up and kiss him. Shake off your thoughts. I just need to... Yeah, shut up. I couldn't control myself. I needed some relief from this entire situation, and I usually found it in James' embrace and against his lips. I stood from the bed and walked over to him, wrapping my arms around him and pulling him into a kiss. I mean, this calls for a good, like moment to have some sexy time. Okay, all right. Like we're killing two birds with one stone right now. Okay. James, taken by surprise, gasped against my lips before wrapping his arms around my waist and kissing me back. I let my mind sink into a blank state as I drowned myself in the kiss between us. However, I knew partly why I was doing this, to give James energy. If energy was what he needed to fight this, then I was willing to feed it to him. Yes. James pulled away slightly and looked down at me. As he looked into my eyes, he stared in soft surprise and confusion.
Love, is everything alright?
I'm Gucci. I'm great. I just kiss him again, pull away, and snap out of it. I just had a lot. I have a lot on my mind, James, and I just need to do this just to get away from it all. Just can you humor me, please? Humor me? Oh God. Oh God. I feel bad for lying to him now. Okay, just yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't want to tell him what happened. I didn't want him to know what was on my mind. I simply needed to help him in the only way that I could, and I needed to not think about what was happening. I pulled him back and kissed him that much harder, wrapping my hands behind his head and gripping to him tightly. James didn't question me further and tightened his embrace around me, deepening the kiss. I'm just very stressed, okay? Our mouths battled in a dance of dominance, with James winning and me giving in to his passion. I found myself growing weak in the knees with the kiss between us, but at the same time, I was floating in a mental cloud nine. My mind knew I could stop now. If he asked, I would come up with an excuse for my behavior, but I was slowly getting into the direction I was taking James toward. As one of his hands slowly slid down my back and hooked itself under my leg and behind my knee, I knew that this was my one chance to pull away before I let myself dive into a most needed sexual ride. Pull away and stop, go all the way. I'm gonna go all the way, bro. I've had 3 chances already, so like I'm in balls deep right now, so let's go all the way. I needed him. There was no point in stopping now. Aw, yeah, let's get it on! I quickly grasped his shoulders and pulled him, walking us back toward the bed and eventually falling back over with him kneeling in between my legs. My mind became mildly frantic, shutting out the world, the war, the castle, the other demons, everything from my mind. All I needed right now was James and his embrace to take me away for the night and make me forget. Yeah! James slowly pulled away, a soft pant escaping him as he stared down at me. His pupils were blown in pure love and lust, gazing down at me with a hazy stare. James, I need you right now. Like, seriously. At the sight of James suddenly licking his lips, something in my core trembled. As his fingers slightly dragged themselves along my side and gripped my waist, I felt myself melt into the mattress beneath me. I had unlocked the beast within James, and I was ready to take him. Screw the world for now, the night belonged to us and us alone. Yeah, screw the world. Let's go screw James instead.
Allow me to indulge myself first.
Oh, sure. Yeah, why not? Sure. I felt a hint of confusion run along my mind before suddenly feeling James pull up my shirt and ease it up, causing me to lift my arms above my head. What I didn't expect was him tying the shirt around my wrist and pressing my hands back near the bedpost. Oh wow, we getting kinky up in here. 50 Shades of James. Oh yeah. What? A deep chuckle echoed from James's chest as he brushed a hand through my hair, making me gaze up into his eyes. He didn't have to enthrall me to make me weak for him, but as his beautiful whiskey eyes began to glow a brilliant gold, my body began to warm and shudder in desire. Oh my gosh. James, you freak. I couldn't stop the moan from escaping my lips as James slowly knelt down and planted his lips on my neck, dragging his tongue over my most sensitive spot and slightly nipping at it. I tilted my head to the side, giving him more space to work as he slowly began to ravage me. Oh man, it's gonna be a long night then. Jeez. My legs naturally wrapped around his waist, pulling him closer to me, but as I did, James evilly rolled his hips against mine, grinding his knee against mine, and forcing us both to release a gasp at the feeling. Oh man, it's gonna be it's gonna be like a 30-minute foreplay session. Jeez, I'm not ready for this. All I could think about was James touching me, holding me, kissing me, delving deep into me. My mind was spinning in endless waves of desire that I could barely control myself from pulling at my makeshift bindings and arching my back against James's chest. James really paid in kind by moving his kisses to my lips, passionately dancing his tongue against mine in a battle of dominance. I was his to take, conceding defeat to his tango. I naturally tried to lower my arms back down to capture him between them, but James suddenly pulled away and forced my hands back above me, making me gasp and stared wide-eyed into James' dominant gaze.
Keep them there.
Okay, oh gosh. Oh, it's getting hot in here. Goddamn. I didn't need to question him or his command. I nodded, willingly obeying, despite knowing that his teasing would be the end of my sanity for the night. A smirk of approval slowly grew on his lips before he came back down and captured my lips again. Somebody needs to turn off this fireplace because it is just getting too hot. I could only grip the fabric of my shirt around my hands, tightening every urge to disobey James as he traveled his mouth down my neck and chest, licking and kissing over my skin. Every part of me that was exposed to James became his to claim. Every touch he made on my body, every finger that traced along my skin, made me shudder in absolute delight. My feet dragged themselves along the back of James's leg, teasing him and trying to urge him to come closer. As he did, he took his sweet time undoing my pants and sliding them off of me before removing his own, leaving us bare for each other. James barely hovered his lips over mine, staring deep into my eyes as our passionate night began to take off. And we have liftoff, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle in your seatbelt because it's gonna be a wild ride. Our carnal desire for each other took over, unrelenting as we moaned through the night together in a loving and passionate crescendo. I let everything go, tearing through the shirt and eventually dragging my nails along his back. His pained hiss between his groans and pants made me lick my lips in an almost sadistic manner, but feeling him slow and tease me as punishment reminded me who was in charge. Oh my god, the only sound to accompany our loving pleas and moans for each other was the creaking of the bed and the echo of our voices. We didn't give a damn who heard us. Yeah, fuck them. The entire castle would know who belonged to who. What? The entire castle would know who we belonged to each other. Yeah. Even as we peaked together, the fixation of our love only intensified, driving us to kiss each other and ride through the afterglow of our sex together. God damn. James managed to open his eyes, staring down at me in both exhaustion and love as he ran a hand through my hair. I could only stare back, lost in his whiskey-colored eyes.
I am so unbelievably blessed to call you my own.
Right? Jeez. Me too. So blessed. Me too, James. Me too. Our love fueled each other like a raging fire. We were destined to be together. Fuck anyone who said anything otherwise. Yeah, fuck the stone destiny. We went to bed that night in each other's arms, enveloped by the peaceful dark of slumber. To my surprise, no nightmares came that night. Yeah, because them angels be like, damn, need some holy water up in this shit because this is just too sinful. I woke up that morning by myself, alone in bed. James was nowhere to be found, but I had assumed that he was out training. We were getting closer and closer to the day when we were going to Yeah, when we were going into battle with Demon Lords, though, it made sense for him to be on top of his training, yes. However, I couldn't exactly stop the feeling of loneliness rushing through me. I at least wanted to see him off, but I had to understand this was preparation for war. Yeah. The reward was me going home after all. Exactly, and not cursed. I stretched and rubbed my neck, massaging out the tired soreness from sleep in my body. Day 5 in the demon world. Day 5. I am still trapped in the demon world. It has been far too long since I've seen bacon. Had it really been that long, I wanted to imagine it like a vacation, but the situation was the polar opposite. This was a week away from my normalcy, despite it being barely normal in the first place. Besides, I was marrying a demon. There was nothing normal about that. Exactly. How much time has gone by in the human world? Were people worried about me by now? Questions plagued my mind for a brief moment before I let out a sigh of defeat. Yeah, no use in worrying, you know. I guess I'll figure it out when I get home, whenever that is. Yes.
Don't worry, darling. You'll be home soon enough.
Aw, Diana. At least you're here to comfort me. I turned my head to see Diana standing by the door with a plate of warm pancakes. I would never figure out how Diana managed to make them, but staring at the plate made my mouth water. Aw, yeah, baby, give me some of that pancake.
Something warm. Here.
Yes, thank you. Diana walked over and handed me the plate and utensils to eat with. I didn't even ask to start eating. The first bite was heavenly and the expression on my face apparently made Diana chuckle.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yes, I do, homegirl. You're such a great cook. I blushed and swallowed the bite full in my mouth before looking up at Diana. Thanks. Yeah, yo, you got me.
You're welcome.
Aw. Diana chuckled as I continued to eat happily. As the thought crossed my mind, I couldn't help but look up and observe Diana as I ate what she made for me. Diana was really doing a lot to help me get home, on top of having a war to deal with, right? I could tell that she had her reasons for doing so, but it seemed like there was a lot of work she had to do, and I felt a little sorry for her. Still, I was thankful that she was willing to help me leave this world for my own. Yes, exactly. Diana smiled a bit before looking away and sighing. What was on her mind? Yeah, girl, homegirl, talk to me.
Dear, may I ask you something?
Yeah, sure. Why? Is it about the noise last night? Are you complaining about that? I'm so sorry if you tried to sleep through that. Yeah, huh? Sure. Yeah, sure. But what was Diana curious about? Diana turned her head to me and stared with a blank expression. I was a little concerned as to why I received such a stare, but I mentally shook it off.
Have you truly dealt with the angel problem? I haven't heard any word from them since last night, so I assume you have. But I need to be sure.
Well, apparently we just had a really hot, sexy, steamy, sex. Yeah, and that apparently really scared them off, so we figured something out too. I stared at her for a moment, taking in her question. I really wasn't sure how to answer because it wasn't clear if we managed to get away from the angels' sights or not. They didn't invade my dreams last night, that was for sure. I don't think anyone would wanna. But could that be even considered taking care of the problem? I don't even know. I took a breath before answering, going with my gut. Yes, I don't know. I honestly don't know, homegirl. Like, it could just be like a fluke. I don't even know. I don't know. I truly didn't know. All I knew was what Saero told me, but I knew better than to tell Dana that just from what Saero warned me about. Yes, exactly. He said to tell no one. Now, I ain't about to mess with him. He's scary. Dana's eyebrows furrowed, but she nodded.
I see.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the truthful answer. I don't want to lie to you, homegirl. I've done enough lying right now. Dana stared at me, digging into my gaze to try and find some sort of other answer in my eyes. However, I remained steadfast. I didn't want to worry her anymore if James and I could handle it on our own. According to Saero, we could. Yeah. Dana sighed before turning to leave.
All right. May today go smoothly.
Yes. You too, homegirl. Don't stress yourself. I nodded as she left. I hoped today would go smoothly as well. Another round of surprises would kill me. I know. Alright, Faye, what are we going to do today? As I walked to the Grand Hall to meet with Faye to meet with them for my training, my mind slowly began to trickle in memories of the day before. What was up with Diana and what was with her aura? She seemed normal so far, but remembering the sight of her in angry flames made me a bit worried. What was she planning on doing and where was she going to go? I finally reached the Grand Hall, seeing Faye holding a strangely woven basket of sorts. Peeking from the top was an intricate-looking bottle, and I could faintly catch the sight of some items wrapped in green leaves. What are those? Yeah, were we going somewhere? I tilted my head at Faye and walked towards them. Are we gonna have a picnic? What is this? What's the basket for?
Well, we gotta have food if we're gonna go out today, right?
Oh, we're gonna go on an excursion! Yeah! Huh? Where are we going? I thought we had to train, however, the new look on face proved that today was not going to be about practicing anything.
I wanna take you somewhere outside the castle. We'll be in a safe place, I promise. Wanna come?
Yeah, sure, why not? It's a nice off day before, we head into our potential death. Warnings about leaving the castle entered my mind, reminding me of Diana's heavy suggestion the day I had arrived in the demon world. Did I really want to leave the castle now? Well, we're with Faye, so I don't see if anything can go wrong. Let's just go. Sure. Thinking about it. Oh, a moment's peace. Yeah, okay, I got an achievement out of that. See? What could possibly go wrong? Thinking about it, the week had been pretty stressful. Maybe it was time for a break. A day wasn't going to hurt us, right? Right? Exactly. Right. I nodded with a smile, making Faye grin back at me before taking my hand and leading me out into the hall. Alright, picnic! They guided me through the castle to the front gate. They then released my hand to fly high into the air.
Come on!
Okay, coming. I stood up at the open sky before taking a breath and nodding. I jolted my hands towards the ground and up I went into the air. Faye cheered silently before flying out over the forest, causing me to follow suit. Ooh, pretty! The journey forward continued for almost a half hour before we arrived at a large mountain cliffside. Faye landed on it and set down their basket before opening a large sheet and draping it over the side of the cliff. This was indeed a picnic, right? With a very beautiful scenic view right here. Yeah. I landed by the cloth before stepping over it and sitting down, letting my feet dangle over the edge. We were pretty high up and the sight was gorgeous, but I was pretty sure we were safe as long as we didn't do something stupid. Yeah, like get drunk and then start dancing at the edge of the cliff. Faye followed suit and sat near me, pulling up the basket of their goodies between our hips. They reached into it and pulled out 2 small packages, both wrapped in large leaves and held together with twine.
Here, made it myself.
Ah, you shouldn't have. Faye handed one to me and began to open theirs up, allowing me to look down and observe what I had been given. It was light, like a sandwich, but so I expected it to be such. Unwrapping it was easy enough with a simple tug. As the leaf opened up, I stared at what was inside. It was a sandwich-sized block of what looked like bread, peppered with little spots of green veggies and seeds of different kinds. I was intrigued just looking at it. What is this? Yeah.
Good.
Is it? Okay, I'll take your word for it. I stared for a bit before breaking off a piece for it to taste. It broke off rather easily, revealing a soft and steamy warm center. It became even more interesting to me as I lifted the piece to my lip and took a bite. Oh, this is like a bao. I expected it to taste somehow exotic or wild and crazy. I was completely incorrect. Bread. It tasted like bread. Fresh bread. But still bread. Yeah, it's bread. I chewed a bit and swallowed, accepting that my expectations were cruelly deceived before looking to Faye and seeing them practically chow down on their bread block. They seemed to enjoy it a lot. Was I missing something? Maybe you didn't hit the center and you just tore off like the outer crust. I took another bite and tasted it again. There a bit more taste the second time as the taste of the seeds pop out on my taste buds, but it wasn't anything truly marvelous. Maybe it was enough for a demon. Maybe. Faye finished their bread before grinning at me, crumbs decorating their lips and cheeks before they licked it all away with their tongue. I took another bite of my bread before looking out to the forest before us. This is a pretty nice place, yeah.
Yeah, this place is pretty nice. I come here and eat all the time.
Ah, sweet. Sweet lunch spot. Really?
Uh-huh. I really don't like the food they make at the castle, especially the stew. Blech.
Okay, so it seems like nobody likes the stew. I tilted my head, vaguely remembering being offered stew the day after I came into this world. What was wrong with it? Yeah. Oh yeah, what's wrong with the stew? Faye looked over at me and gasped, their face slightly turning green despite the surprised fear in their eyes.
You didn't eat it, did you?
No, I nearly did, but... Well, no, but... Faye let out a relieved sigh, placing their hand on their chest. Leave it alone, question it. I want to question it! What's so bad about the stew? Who made it? What's in it? Now I was insanely curious what was wrong with the stew. Yeah. I turned to Faye and leaned in, catching their gaze and making them stare back at me. Faye, what is in the stew? Yeah, what's in the stew? Tell me.
Well,
Is it... Okay, what could possibly be really bad in this world? Like... I don't know. Like what? Horse meat? Do we even have horses here? Faye, tell me, just be straight up. I don't even care. It's not like I ate it. Faye shut their eyes before covering their head, curling into themselves.
It's him! Pig Fawn Imp!
Okay, alright. Okay. I stared, taking it in. Pig Fawn Imp? Oh. Then I remember the Demon Lord's henchman from the vision the boys showed me when we met. The Demon Lord had a servant that looked like a pig fawn. According to Diana, the Demon Lord had imps, so the servant had to be one. On top of that, one apparently had snuck into the castle to electrocute Diana the first day I came. Really? Oh, did she kill him and stick him in a stew? I guess. Did I almost eat a demon? I guess. My stomach felt suddenly queasy as I covered my mouth and took in a heavy breath in realization. I was now incredibly grateful Diana had stopped me.
I am so sorry. At least you didn't eat it, right?
Right? Yeah, that's like that. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. I nodded, shaking out my nerves and calming down. Thank God I didn't eat it. Faye let out a sigh and leaned back on their arms, looking up at the sky above us.
You know, for a human, you are pretty good with magic.
Right? Aren't I so talented? Like, I make Harry Potter jealous. I looked over at them and tilted my head. Where was this coming from? Faye, I only really know 2 spells.
So, there are some demons who only know 1 spell. You know 2! That's better than 1, right?
Right. Aw, you make me feel so much better about myself. I was surprised, but I nodded. There were demons like that? Faye let out a sigh.
There are all kinds of magic in the universe, you know? For you to master demon magic, let alone fairy magic, that's a really cool talent.
Oh, wow. Dang, that's so cool. I smiled, happy to know that I was being seen as talented. Something about hearing a demon telling me that I was talented when it wasn't my fiancé made me feel really special, right? Faye reached between us and brought out the bottle, popping the cork and offering it to me. Oh, what's this?
Want some?
Well, what is it? Oh yeah, what is it?
A brew from where I was born, Salafion. It's good, I promise.
Shit, it sounds hella fancy, but I'll take a sip. Accept it, don't. I want it. I want some. Give me some. Hit me up on that. Accept. Mine as well. I gently took the bottle from Faye and lifted it to my lips, taking a sip and being surprised at the taste. If it was alcohol, it definitely didn't taste like it. That's the dangerous kind of alcohol, when it doesn't taste like alcohol at all. That means you could just drink as much as you want and you won't even feel shit. And then until it's too late and you stand up and then suddenly your world is spinning. A gorgeous mixture of berries and mineral water danced along my tongue, revealing a hint of some spice I couldn't recognize. It went down like water and spurred me to take a good swig before passing it back to Faye, wiping my lip. Damn, that shit's good. Wow, that's amazing.
I know, right?
Yeah, yo. Dang, Faye cheered before lifting it up and chugging a good percent of it down. We shared the bottle, only limited to that one bottle, and enjoyed the state of mild euphoria it gave us. As we sat back, we let out a simultaneous sigh.
You know, something's wrong with Diana.
Yeah, well, no shit. No shit. There it was. There it is. There it is. I looked over at Faye to see them still gazing into the air, cheeks slightly pink from the drink they had, but they continued to speak naturally.
I have this thing, like, I can sense danger and stuff, and lately, Diana's been flaring up for me like no tomorrow, you know? Like, she's
possessed? She's what?
Like she's turning into the Demon Lord or something. She's growing more, quick to make angry, maybe.
But maybe she always had a quick temper, you know? People have quick tempers. I mean, look at Sergeant. No, I think this is the part where we might have to start convincing them that no, nothing's wrong with Diana, even though like we already had spoilers where from Eric's route she's aware of it herself as well. But at this timeline we have to remember that Hana also doesn't exactly know the whole story yet, but I think we might still get that chance of defending Diana because, you know, of all the help that she gave to us so far, or either choosing to agree because we did witness it ourselves. But anyways, I'm still gonna support Diana, and then obviously we're gonna go back and we're gonna see what happens if we don't. I could tell that this was the reason why Faye needed to leave the castle. This concern was definitely one Faye needed to figure out, or at least vent about. Diana seemed to be close to them. What do you think could have changed her?
I don't know. I mean, she's always kind of been a, I guess, passionate person. You know, since she hates the Demon Lord and stuff. But she's mostly been pretty nice and stuff until recently.
Yeah, then maybe it's just an off thing, you know? We have bad days. Really? She was nice even when you met her?
Really? Especially when I met her. I went to her after my entire clan was burned and, well, she kinda took me in and asked me to help her in the war. I was the first person besides for her guard to work with her.
Oh, damn, girl, so you're one of the OG members. That was an interesting story. While it was sad what happened to Faye's clan, they seemed to have moved on and were okay with where they were. Faye tilted back and lounged back on the blanket, yeah.
I've pretty much been there ever since the war started. I've never seen her get so angry and stuff. At least not to the point where she suddenly, poof, burst into flames.
Like, quite literally, yes. That does seem a bit odd. Yeah, I became concerned for Diana too. Would she be okay? She was leading a large rebellion against a murderous psychopath, so it seemed to come with the job, but if Faye watched her and saw this change, then what could have sparked it? I guess it's just the obsession with killing the Demon Lord, like Hana had figured before too. And also, we now found out, like, you know, a bit of what happened to Diana's family and such, so, you know, she has all the more reason to, you know, hate him. I shook my head and fell back on the sheet beneath us as well, staring into the open sky. I couldn't spend my time thinking about it. I was out to relax with Faye, and they seemed to want to get off the topic now that they had said their piece. We relaxed there, chatting away at random topics until it was time to head back, practicing a bit of what I knew and separate for the night. Hopefully things would be settled soon. Alright, I finally arrived at my room, but as soon as I entered, something wasn't right. I felt something was off just from stepping inside, but there was no one there. Was I just exhausted and imagining things? What's happening? Should I leave it here, you guys? Should I leave it as a cliffhanger, or should we just make it into the room? Let's take a peek into the room. Let's see. I cautiously entered, looking around. Nothing seemed to be out of place visually, but my nerves felt on edge. What was happening? Is there an angel hidden in here? What's going on? This is hidden camera. I'm a little concerned. Okay, let's go for one more little sentence, and then I'm gonna end it here, you guys. Hello? Okay, 2 sentences, I lied. Despite feeling silly speaking to an empty room, I had to see if anything or anyone would respond. Maybe they were hiding, maybe something was creeping around and would be surprised by my voice. Okay, one more. There was no surprise, but I still didn't feel easy. Something was seriously wrong. What's wrong? What's going on? Am I gonna get jumped? What's happening? Am I gonna hallucinate James being the Demon Lord or some shit, or what's going on? Investigate, leave the room. I think this is the perfect time to leave it here, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. What choice will I make in the next episode? Should we investigate the room, be a little ballsy, or should we make like a horror movie normal person and just fucking get the fuck out of there when things get hella shady? So, tune in next time and we will find out together. Oh my god. Alright guys, so yeah, see you in the next episode. Bye!